In this quarantine time, I want to share with you a process that I think can help you a lot on being a better photographer in terms of creativity. So stick with me. Hello everyone. So now I think we are still all in our home in this quarantine moment, so why not take the opportunity to keep talking about photography. In this video I want to talk about something that I think it's very important and can help your creativity process and helps become a better photographer. What I'm talking about is developing a personal project. A personal project means telling a story through a picture. So every picture has to be related and convey this main message, and stylistically, visually speaking, has to have the same style, which basically is the opposite of just going random everywhere, taking picture like that, without even knowing what you're doing, just because you like your camera, you like taking picture, you wish to be a better photographer. A personal project, what's important is something that has to speak to you. You're not gonna do a project because you wanna post on Instagram, because they ask you, or because it's cool, because it's in fashion in this moment. No, it's something that you like because it's something that you wanna talk about. You know what they say? They say, write what you know. I would say in this case is photograph what you know. So photograph something that belongs to your culture, that belongs to your country, that belongs to your family, maybe around your yard, or something that you know because it's related to your former job, or if you are an amateur photographer, you still have a full-time job in another field, can be something that is connected there, something that you already know, the topic, and now it's the moment to bring it in image with a process which eventually helps you to become an awesome, amazing photographer. Suggestion, make it personal. Don't care about showing eventually to somebody in first place. Just make it like yourself, so you feel more comfortable to express yourself. Then eventually you show someone, depends, but that's a way to free yourself. How this can make you a better photographer? I would say, let's say if we want to regroup in makes you a better communicator in terms of picture, makes you expand your comfort zone, and helps you to become a better editor of your picture. That's just a main, and then a lot of multi-million other stuff that can help you. Oh, first of all, you gotta focus. I mean, you have to narrow down all the options and focusing on the topic that you want to talk about. And it's like saying, if you know what you're saying, of course you know better how to say. If you don't know what to say, you just talk blah 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 blah. You're not gonna come up with anything interesting. It's like saying, if you want to photograph, for example, dogs, you're not gonna go out there photographing landscape. You focus on dogs for the day because you know that you gotta keep going with the project that you're interested. You know what kind of picture you need to fill the process. Doing this, you became a better communicator with your camera because you know step by step what you are supposed to photograph in order to make the story more narrative, more interesting for you and eventually for some viewer. Eventually, it's not the ultimate goal for you. Well, second, it also helps expand your comfort zone in terms of creativity. How? Most probably you gotta ask people something. You have to ask permission to photograph them. For example, if you want to do a personal project about portrait, or you gotta ask them to photograph something that belongs to them, or just photographing something that, or just having permission to go photographing some place where otherwise you would never go. by yourself, just because maybe there would be some obstacle, so you would say, oh, let's go in another direction. No, if you gotta have a project, a specific goal, you know that maybe you need that kind of picture, you go ask and you expand your area, you expand your comfort zone, because you are going in an area where otherwise you've never gone. Let me show you a couple of examples of my former personal project, just to give you an idea. For example, years ago I decided to do a small project about polar bear club. It's a club in Coney Island here in New York. During the weekend, every Sunday, this guy meet in the beach in Coney Island and they jump on the ocean. Usually it's from November up to April, every Sunday. So I went there like probably 5, 6 or 7 times, as much as I needed to fill up the process. So the good things was going there, understand what kind of things I wanted to highlight, what was interesting, and then little by little every Sunday taking picture of something that I may needed to complete the story. Here I'll give you some example. For example, I needed some shot like this one, like a big one that gives a sense of space, location, where they are, what we are talking about, in which area we are. So you see a lot of people, you see the location where it is. Then I decide, okay, why not taking picture, of course, of people, the way, so you see the way they dress, what kind of, I mean, this is everything that shows their personality. Then I said, okay, I need picture of them in action, like in this one, or this one, or while they were, cooling down, like in this one, or the fun after the jump, like in this one, for example. Then I said, okay, and then I need another picture of them in the water. So I took picture like this, they were in the water, but then here comes the out of comfort zone. Then I understood that I needed some picture of them in the water with the Coney Island on the background, which means me jumping the freezing water, going a little bit farther from them, and then turning and taking picture of the situation. Here I got, as you can see, so basically I was freezing my ass off without pants, without shirt, with only the camera, and I decided actually last minute because it was almost the end of the season and it was freezing. So giving you an idea, even in this one, what means expanding your comfort zone. You know, you gotta meet this person, you gotta introduce yourself, or you gotta make them understand that you are there with the camera taking picture, even if you don't ask each individual, otherwise the feeling of the action get lost, you know. And then understanding how the situation is, expanding, all of this, it's expanding your creativity and expanding also, as we said, your comfort zone. Well, third point is that you became a better editor of yourself, because at some point you have to lay down all these pictures and see where you are and if the story is developing the way you want to do. So it forces you to cut down some photo and decide to do other. This is also another process, help you to become a better editor of yourself. Right? And when you do a project, consider that you photograph for yourself, but when you edit, consider like editing for somebody else. Or you can even, if you feel free to ask help of somebody else, you can even just ask to another friend that you trust. So even in this one, you became a better editor because you see somebody else, how they see your picture, what they think. That doesn't mean that your opinion is better than yours. It's just another opinion. That's it. Then you can keep going with what you're feeling in general. Well, I hope this gave you an idea, maybe an inspiration in this time where you can even find some personal project here in your apartment or in your house, or maybe you develop now and then you decide to do later when you're going out. And if you have already a project that you're doing, long-term, short-term, why not? Leave a comment. I would like to know what other people are doing. Maybe I get an idea for some other future project. And share, because maybe somebody else can even be interested in this video. Why not? And thanks, yeah, thanks for following, and I'll see you next time. Bye.